All right, it's me and my client, and today we're doing a deep side part sew-in tutorial on all natural, thick, curly, dense hair. We over here just watching Love is Blind, getting into all the tea of the new season, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to share the vibes, but let's get into these steps. So as you can see, I am parting out her leave out. Today for her leave out, we are only doing the front edges as well as her parting area, and she is going to be doing a deep side part on the left side of her head, I believe. But as you can see, I am sectioning out her braid down now. I love to use edge control to mold the parts in place, and that way it'll help you get all those little frizzy flyaways and make sure everything is tucked inside of the braid. I also make sure I don't braid too tight because we're not trying to give your clients a facelift over here and cause tension alopecia. So make sure you're not gripping their hair beyond belief. Just braid it and grip it enough to fit in the form of the braid. Now I'm gonna only be braiding down that French braid halfway just because I will be adding it into the next braid, and I will show you guys how to do that. So again, making sure I'm molding that braided section with the edge control just so that we make sure we get every little tiny piece of hair. Sorry my hair is in the way. I do have a wand curl tutorial coming up for you guys on how I got my hair like this. Now, like I said earlier, I'm going to be feeding that braid into the next braid. And when I pinch it, it's directly up so that it's not sticking out. And that way it's laying flat without me having to pull it. And this is just to help us so that we don't have to sew down any braids at the end. Make sure you're not pulling on that braid. Just keep your hands in place and do your normal braid motions as normal. So again, making sure I edge control the next braid. That up to make sure it's included in the French braid about midway through. So I'm just going to continue the same exact method, making sure I braid it, mold it with edge control, then only braid it down halfway, and then include that next braid into the braid next to it midway down. Now for the other side where her main side part would be, I am going to do a braid along the front edge just so that we can angle all those tracks forward. And then I'm also going to do her leave out braid, which is kind of like an anchor braid. And that is just going to ensure that I get the whole top row of wefts extremely flat and neat. And now I'm just going to continue braiding down. It's kind of like straight back braids, but not really, because this is going to be for a side part. And with side parts, you really want to make sure you're angling the wefts towards the face so that way they don't have to worry about their leave out too much. So far, this is the leave out that we're working with. She has ended up in a V shape. I like to work from both sides just to make sure I'm getting it evenly on both sides so that all the braids aren't going to one side and looking sideways. Here's what we have so far, and I'm just going to continue those parts, and when I get to the last braid, I'm actually going to include both those braids into this last braid. So just continue to braid it down, and that last braid that I'm actually French braiding, that braid we're going to use to tuck into all those little loop-de-loops. You can sew it down, but just keep in mind, if your client is taking out their sew-in, they not gonna know what's what. So I just like to tuck it in and make sure it's just fed through in every which way until there is no end left. That way the client can easily find the braid and feed it out without having to worry about cutting off their hair. So taking in the Rev Air Scalp Oil that I used in my previous wash day routine video, I did mention that I would be using this on my sew-in clients, and I told y'all I was gonna do it, and look at me doing it. I do it all the time for all my sew-in clients, and they absolutely love it. Make sure you get it in all the braids, and especially at the nape of the neck where the hair can pull. Y'all, tell me why we've been reusing these bundles, okay? Because one thing about me as a stylist, you can bring whatever hair you want. note, you do not have to buy hair from me. However, she did. She bought this hair from my Maven store, which I will link below for you guys. She's using 4 bundles of the body wave texture that we have been reusing since her graduation. I also like to pre-thread all my needles and I put them on a cardboard box or a towel normally. I like to do the fold over method because that way it's easier to reuse the bundles and you still end up with the amount that you started with instead of a bunch of different cuts and wefts and pieces. But anyway, so I like to double weft and I start off with the ends and I loop my thread around the needle and then I pierce the weft of the bundle and make sure that I'm interlocking that piece of thread so that when I pull on it, no matter what, it is not going anywhere. You want to double knot each looped thread and then interlock that stitch when you start off the double weft. Even if you're not double wefting, you still want to start it off hooked into the weft instead of looped around the weft. This will ensure that none of your tracks will slip along the edges and you won't have any lifting. You don't have to go through the weft every single time. I only go through the weft when I'm starting off a bundle, when I'm flipping the bundle in the front, and when I'm finishing the bundle. So being that this is double wefted and this is a deep side part sew-in, what I do when I get towards the front on the edges, I actually make sure I only do 1 weft. Now you see how I split that and I'm only sewing 1 weft and then I fold it and I go through the weft and then I go back. That is just so that it's not so bulky at the edge, and then I meet both those double wefts back again. As you can see, I am lining these tracks in a horseshoe method. This is just going to ensure that it's laying all nice and flat. You can try out this hair for a 30-day guarantee. Like what hair extension company do you know who gives you a 30-day guarantee on your hair? You can return it, exchange it, and get a refund if you really want to. Like, nobody's doing that for 30 days at that. You could even install this in your hair and not like it. Take it down, send it back, and get new bundles. Okay? Maven has got your back and I love them for that. And then when I get to the end of the thread, I like to twirl it around 3 times and then I put it in a knot and hold my thumb as a placeholder to get that knot to go down to the base of the weft. And I do that twice just to make sure it's not going to take that thread out. So as you can see, I am angling that front weft toward her face, and this is gonna be really helpful for when she styles her leave out. She's not gonna have to pay attention to her leave out as much and really make sure she styles it to get it to match, because that front couple wefts is laying forward towards the face. So she can really just scoot that under and put it behind her ear without having to worry about that. I also only use nylon thread, y'all. Y'all need to stop using cotton thread. First of all, cotton thread is just horrible for you. It's absorbing the moisture from your client's hair. Your client's hair is going around that cotton thread. And on top of that, if your client's taking out their own sew-in, it's really hard to tell where the cotton is and where their hair is, because cotton absorbs moisture. So a lot of times your hair can wrap around that cotton thread. And even if they are really good at only getting the cotton thread cut, it's still going to pull your hair out. Why? Because it's absorbing its moisture. It's sucking everything out. So if you do nylon thread, not only will you have less tangles and knots, your clients will be able to take out their own sew-in a lot easier, and it's not absorbing any moisture from their hair. It's so easy, and I highly recommend it. And so, like I said, we're doing it in a horseshoe method, and then when I get to the front, I split it so it's only 1 weft, and then I fold that over, go through the weft, make sure I'm pinching it so that it's a flat flip over, and then I meet those 2 wefts back again so that we're continuing to double weft. My client does have 4 bundles and she does like it really full, so this is why we double weft, just to make sure that we can fit everything in her head. Also, it makes your ends look a lot fuller when you double weft, especially if you at least double weft your first bundle or 2. So yeah, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm continuing all the way up the head, back and forth, flipping over all her bundles, making sure I can get as much hair in there as possible. I normally put the wefts over my shoulder or in the bend of my elbow, just so that the hair is not dragging on the floor and I have better control over it as I'm sewing it up. Once I get to the end, I am just cutting that in and making sure I'm detangling all that before we go in and style. Now remember, she has used these bundles several times for several events. So yeah.
Yeah, because see with the side part, all I have to do is just swoop that up.
And the fact that I angled it forward, it's not going to be sticking out ever.
Yeah.
She normally opts for a middle part, but we are doing a side part this time because she wants to give her middle part, leave out a break. Me doing her sew-ins was probably about the first time she ever started wearing sew-ins. So of course, when you do that, you're going to be looking like Cynthia, thinking you could just flat iron your leave out every day to get it to match. The whole time you're causing yourself heat damage. So make sure you're really careful of that. We are switching it and giving her middle part a leave out, a little bit of break. So here I'm just showing her the two different options of curls so that she can pick out which curls she likes the best. I'm doing flat iron curls with the Babyliss Pro, and then I wanted to show her a wand curl so she can pick out which curl she liked. She loved the wand curls overall, so I am going back over and I'm just gonna wand curl her whole hair. Now y'all, I forgot my freaking styling products. I didn't bring them to the office, so I couldn't do her edges and her baby hair and the molding and swooping in and making it look good. I'm so sad, but she still liked it nonetheless, and the main point was to give her a sew-in, so yeah.
So cute. Okay. Yay.
Sorry, y'all. We ran out of space. I tried to get what I could get, but yeah, she can wear it out flat like that or tuck it behind the ear. We didn't bring the baby hairbrush, so she's gonna do the baby hairs when she go home. That was my bad. Otherwise, this would be way more polished, but.
And I will make sure I have all my styling products for the next
All right, bye y'all. See you in the next video.
Y'all, I only charge $175 for a sewing. And then you could buy the hair from the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Make sure you get your bundles from me. And yeah, let me do your hair, girl. Let's film a tutorial together.